lot to talk about in terms of Tesla and Elon Musk. And for that, we're joined by Matthew Maley. I'm sorry, the name, can you help me out there?
Maley.
Maley, I'm sorry, I apologize. He's the Chief Market Strategist at Miller Tabak Co. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm sorry, I had so many numbers in my head. The names kind of confused me, but let's get to this. The tech stocks, worst day in 2 years. Talk about the kind of damage that was done out there. I mean, if you look at the numbers that are coming down, virtually every indice was simply hammered. S&P 2.3%, NASDAQ 3.7%, Dow 1.25%, and then the Russell index down 2.1%. It's tough to walk away from that one.
Yeah, it's because a week ago or so we started to see some of these tech stocks get hit a little bit, but we saw rotation. People were rotating out of tech and into small cap and some other areas. But today's decline and late last week as well, it was just pure sell-off. There was no rotation into the Russell 2000, as you mentioned. So we're starting to see some people get quite nervous, and a lot of this has to do with with these earnings that you talked about, because everybody's trying to say where is the return on investment, this massive investment people are making on in AI, and even the people who are the most bullish in the world about what AI eventually will be, that doesn't mean it's going to happen quickly. And
right.
This time last year, people thought people were going to be making a lot more money. The end users will be making a lot more money by now. It doesn't seem to be the case.
I want to talk about Elon Musk, his company, and how that's dragging the markets down. But to pick up on what you're just talking about, I think you read the same Bloomberg report. I just saw that there's a lot of money in this. People haven't found a way to monetize AI. There are a lot of concerns out there, and there could be a huge correction down the road in the very near future, perhaps as much as 10 to 20%. Are you worried about that?
Well, I've been talking about this issue of the end users of AI picking up and not getting the kind of returns that people have been talking about, and I have been talking about a 10% correction for several weeks as well. And to be honest with you too, is that you think about it, is that when the weighting of these tech stocks and and especially in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, it's what 40. Well, the tech is over 50%. Right. On the NASDAQ and 30% on the S&P. Those index goes down. That sends fear throughout the marketplace, and people start rotating into cash because that still pays you 5% right now.
Okay, let's talk about Elon Musk and Tesla. To what degree do you think Tesla's earnings played into what happened today, and what did they do from here, and how concerned should investors be?
Well, I think that what happened with Alphabet was just as important. But the question with Tesla is that the stock was trading at more than 100 times forward earnings at its peak just a week or two ago.
Wow.
Now it's still above 80 times earnings. This is an expensive stock. We have and with this robo-taxi being pushed out a couple of months now, and then people saying, oh, when are they really going to be able to mass produce these taxis, these robo taxis, and when is it really going to add to revenue? Because regular EV sales are going down globally, not just for Tesla, but for the entire industry. So when you got to rely on that, their regular business to carry you through for longer than people have been expecting, that's a big problem. That does send some fear through investors' minds, as they've been really hoping that this AI phenomenon would be accelerating by now.
And Matthew, despite what Musk says, I think there are a lot of people out there who do believe he's going to give $45 million a month to the Trump campaign moving forward. What is that doing to the Tesla? Because if you look who first latched onto that, it was Democrats, it was liberals. Their confidence in Tesla has dropped from the high 30% rate down to about 16%, and for conservatives in the upper 20, down to about that same level. If he continues to lose people who want to buy this vehicle, where does that leave his company?
Well, that certainly doesn't help. I mean, it's still, let's face it, the company still makes money, the only EV company that does. So that's, that he has in his favor, and the cars they make are good cars. But it's definitely having an impact on him. And like you said, he said he's not giving anywhere near that amount. Well, maybe he's giving $3 billion less. That's a lot less. $3 billion is a lot of money, but $42 billion is still a lot too. So the vagaries of his response have definitely left some people wanting, and that could cause some problems for him because of the political aspects of what President Trump represents.
You talked about about Musk's robo-taxis that he wants to roll out in China, but he also yesterday talked about having robots come out as early as 2025 for use for companies. He's got SpaceX, he's got X. Does he have his fingers in too many pies right now?
Well, there's always that risk. I mean, the one thing is betting against Elon Musk has never been a real good strategy.
Yeah.
However, the question now is how quickly can he come out with it? I mean, I could tell you about those the SUVs that they came out with here are going over like a like a rotten egg, and so they're not doing really well. So it is definitely a big concern, and if he's not focusing on that core business, that's what people are going to be even more concerned about.
What do you make about him moving SpaceX and X, formerly known as Twitter, from California to Texas? Is that going to come back to haunt him in any way? I think a lot of people could see moving it there for tax reasons, for financial reasons, but when you get into issues where you talk about trans men and women, that really kind of hits a nerve with people.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say how much of an impact that will have. I mean, in the same way, it also helps the people that that support Donald Trump, and and if he's the one, if he's backing Donald Trump, which he certainly seems to be, I guess he's weighed the two sides of that and decided to go with the way he's going.